Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, your friendly perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella, Kate's daughter, representing all the women who are nowhere near perimenopause but want to understand it better.
Whether you're just starting your perimenopause journey, deep into it, or you're a loved one trying to support someone who is, we've got you covered.
We'll be answering all of your burning questions, exploring the ups and downs, and sharing expert advice and personal insights.
So grab a cup of tea, get comfy, and let's dive into the wonderful, sometimes wild, world of perimenopause together.
And remember, no matter where you are on your journey, you are not alone.
Welcome to the Uncomplicated Perimenopause. Hello, my darlings, and welcome to episode 4 of the Uncomplicated Perimenopause.
Season 2.
Season 2, yes, of the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I have this thing, we've just been talking about this, where ADHD, I don't know if it's ADHD brain or autism brain.
Just going to say, what happened? I'm Kate Grosvenor.
Oh, yes, sorry, I'm Kate Grosvenor, Perimenopause podcast. Perimenopause.
You know who we are.
Perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella Grosvenor.
Dear Lord. It's nearly Christmas. ADHD, hey. Now, I have this thing where every time somebody says something that could be the title of the song, I have to sing the first line of the song.
You're like Miranda Hart.
Oh, is that what she does?
Yeah.
Well? Oh, gosh. But I've had a whole morning of it this morning and I can't get my brain to stop doing it. And it's just been, we've been setting up for the podcast and I've just been non-stop. And I think, and I'm not even tired, but my brain is just really...
What did you ask me? You said something... Big boy something.
Oh, big boy, I don't even know.
Yeah, and then I was like, you're like, why is it not big girl? And I was like, because this is a man's world, and you can imagine what happened next.
This is a man's world. But it is everything at the moment, and it's not, I'm not tired. I had a beautiful night's sleep.
You've slept very well.
I've slept very well for the last few days. I'm like passing out at like 11 o'clock at night. No school runs, I'm sleeping the sleep of the innocent and rested. I'm having gorgeous sleep at the moment.
Amazing.
Fantastical, beautiful sleep. The sleep, just the gift from the gods. So I'm not tired, but maybe that's it. Maybe that's the problem. My brain is so gorgeously rested that it's just up to no good. I solemnly swear my brain is up to no good.
I don't think so, because even when you do not get some sleep, you can still be up to no good.
Yeah, but yeah, so does anybody else do that though? And anybody else ADHD and their brain just literally has to sing if anybody says something that it could be a song. I don't know why it's really, really bad this week though.
For the viewers watching at home, raise your hand.
Yes, everybody in the room's like, I. But you've been because Rowan's home at the moment. Rowan is my middle daughter, and she's like her brain is neuro spicy like mine. And you've been getting a bit fed up with us this week, haven't you? It's like, where should we put this? And I'll say on the tree because they're decorating the tree. Like,
oh my god, it's like the obvious answers, and I just want a yes or no answer, and then they have to get really like sarcastic about it, and I'm like, I've just asked a normal question.
But you've got a normal answer.
No, it's not a normal answer. It's like, I asked Rowan something like, do you want a cup of tea? Do you not see I'm sick? A simple yes can just go a long way sometimes. Like, yes, please, if you're being polite as well.
Yeah.
Where do I put this bauble? On the tree. I know that. Where on the tree? Like,
yeah, struggles are real.
The problem is it's when it's two of you. Do you know one of you? It's like, oh, God, all right. And then it's like typicals. Both of you. And then you both laugh with each other and it's like, no, don't laugh. It's not funny. Like, I thank God I have my little sister, the youngest one. She gets me and just looks at me like, I know. Like, yeah. I know.
Because it's normally either outnumbered. It's normally 2 neurotypicals versus 1, or it's equal. But sometimes you are outnumbered. Yeah.
And if I make one mistake, yesterday I said something, it sounded like a bit of a lisp. My God, I didn't hear about it till the end, like all night. Is it? I'm like, it was one mistake.
Hey, cousin, let it go. Coming. He's a neuro spicy as well, isn't he? Oh, it's going to be a fun Christmas.
I hope the three of you just wind each other up.
We don't know, we have a great time.
I really hope you just do, and you just go, sarcastic little...
But we really enjoy ourselves, because we can all just let it hang out and just be really, like...
Guess who I'm hanging out with this Christmas? Jenna!
And the kittens.
Well, you've decided one of them is also neurospicy.
She is. She's so... I'm sorry, but she is touched by the tisms. She sits next to me. She doesn't sit on me. She looks at me upside down, and she follows me everywhere.
It's just like Rowan.
Just like Rowan. What's new?
That's so funny.
Okay, anyway, completely digressed. We're probably about half an hour into the podcast by now. Hey ho, I'm time blind as well, so huzzah!
Can you not see how much?
I can, but I can't. I can't judge how.
Okay.
I can see the time, but I can't judge.
Yeah.
I'm not like actually blind.
We should just have a chat with Gabby and Kate.
We do need to do some weird outtake material so people can just understand how.
Maybe get Rowan on. Maybe they'll understand.
Do you know what we should? But we don't have enough equipment. We need to do some podcasts.
I'll bow out for that one that you two do. Yep.
Okay. Well, we should just do like what it's like to be neurodivergent.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
Where people anyone that's neurodivergent can come play along. That'd
be a good one, actually, from perspective of mother and child who deal with each other.
Yeah. Right. We're fine. We're chill with each other. We completely get it.
I'm happy for you.
Yes, we're happy for each other. Anyway, my lovely, gorgeous daughter, what is the question for today?
So, this one is, and I'm glad because I've actually wanted someone to submit a question like this for a while.
Okay, cool.
So, Fiona.
Hi, Fiona.
Is from Australia.
Ah, good day, mate.
By the way, not everyone tells me where they're from. I check the phone numbers. I Google then what that phone number is from because not everyone announces. So
So you stalk them?
When they submit their question on WhatsApp, I see the phone number and then I go, ooh, what's that?
So you researched them. You shouldn't say the word stalk.
That's not me. I'm not doing a baby reindeer here.
Connotations.
So yes, Fiona is in her early 40s.
Cool.
She says she has no interest in sex anymore.
Oh, bless you. Yeah.
She has read that libido does change in perimenopause.
Yes.
But is it normal to also feel disconnected from herself?
Oh yes, God bless her heart.
How can she explain this to her husband when even she doesn't know what's going on with herself?
Yes, great question.
I'm glad this finally got... Yeah.
Yeah, it really, honestly, genuinely amazing question, because it is something that we do need to talk about. So first and foremost, thank you for sharing something really personal. I know people don't know who you are, but it is still a really personal question, vulnerable question. So thanks for asking it because we do need to talk about it.
Yeah.
So many women do feel really hesitant to talk about libido because it's kind of like the elephant in the room in many ways.
Yeah.
It's very personal, and I say it every single show, but you're not alone. This is a topic that needs to be spoken about again and again because it's such an important one, and so many women and this can vary. So, right, some women in their early 40s will be at the peak of their sexual, because we've talked about this before. You know, technically, a lot of women will peak sexually in their early 40s. However, and this is why she's like, but I'm in my early 40s and my libido's just gone. Yes, and we do need to discuss why. Because if you may go into perimenopause earlier than other women, so therefore you would, if you hit menopause early, therefore your perimenopause would come early.
Yeah.
You would therefore be in, your libido can get up and do one earlier.
But that's good news at least. She might go through a bit earlier. She might come out the other way, other side of it earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it's, it swings and roundabouts, hey? So many women can go through what you're describing in their early 40s. So, it's not unusual. So whether you're in your early 40s, your mid 40s or your late 40s, it's not unusual. For me, it kind of struck more towards late 40s.
Yeah.
I'm just being really, really honest, because it's something that all of us, or not all of us, the majority of us will go through. So one of the biggest culprits here is hormones.
Culprits.
Well, it's something that none of us want to have because it brings with it so many relationship issues. That's number one. But it also brings with it issues with ourselves. When you don't feel virile, you don't feel sexual, you don't feel like you've got any oomph, it can make you feel disconnected from yourself, which is what she talks about. So let's look at first about libido, and then we'll look at kind of disconnection from herself. So when we look at hormones, when we look at libido, okay, we're looking at 3 hormones. We're looking at estrogen, which you know them by now, estrogen and progesterone, but we're also looking at, a lot of the time we're looking at testosterone.
With libido?
With libido.
Lack of? Or?
Lack of.
Oh.
Okay. Now, women will think that testosterone is a male hormone. So again, we think of, lifting weights in the gym, and we think of
teenage boys and
steroids and stuff.
Yeah.
But we actually have a lot of testosterone, and it plays a big role in libido. But these three hormones fluctuate and then they decline.
Mm-hmm.
So estrogen, as the estrogen drops, the biggest role that estrogen plays in your libido is that it makes your vagina very, very dry. So estrogen has a lot to do with, you love this word,
you moisten it.
Moist. So when you lose the kind of natural lubrication in your vagina, it makes sex really uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And can actually become very painful. Plus, your vagina tissue,
we're all grown-ups.
We're all girls. But the vaginal wall, the vaginal tissue is estrogen sensitive. So as you age, as you go through the menopause, the vaginal tissue, so actually internally, becomes thinner. So it becomes, this is so much, I don't not want to have this conversation with you because it's about sex. I don't want to have this conversation with you because I don't want to burst your bubble. It's actually not because
okay.
I'm embarrassed about talking about sex. It's because I don't want you to know this, because it sounds like
it's preparing me.
No, I don't want to prepare you. I want you to live in, it's like telling somebody there's no Santa Claus. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I want you to think that your vagina is going to be young forever. Anyway, so the vaginal walls become thinner as well. Mm-hmm. So it's not just That's
really funny, sorry.
But it's not just that there's the dryness, it's actually the vaginal walls can become thinner. Now, what can you do about that? There is something you can do. You can take topical estrogen. So you can go to your GP or your senior nurse practitioner, and you can ask for vaginal pessaries, or estrogen pessaries, and you can actually have topical estrogen.
Right.
Even if you aren't supposed to take estrogen orally or estrogen patches because there's breast cancer in your family, or you can't have estrogen for another reason. There's studies that show that topical estrogen in the vaginal area doesn't cross over the threshold. Right. So you can go and ask your doctor, can I still have estrogen? And they will advise on each individual case. So you can have topical estrogen that will help to lubricate the vagina and also help with the thinness of the vaginal walls.
Mm-hmm.
I've got my HRT review tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So we all have to have HRT reviews. So if you haven't had an HRT review for a while,
how often? Yearly?
It depends on your symptoms. So I haven't had an HRT review for a couple of years. I've noticed I'm on quite a medium dose of estrogen. So I've noticed that a few symptoms are creeping back in. I'm going to be 51 in a few months. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, do you know what? I haven't had a review since I think I was 48.
Right.
I've noticed a few symptoms creeping back in. So I'm like, it's time I'm going to up the level of estrogen because I haven't had a review for a while.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go and see the doctor.
Do you take HRT until you've hit menopause?
You can take HRT for as long as you feel that it's worth symptoms. The doctors will tell you, okay, so we're going off topic a little bit here, but it's an important question. I'm glad you asked it, because the doctors will, typical old-fashioned information the doctors were given would be keep them on as low a dose as you can for as little time as you can. Okay. So get them on, start them on HRT as late as you can, give them as low a dose as possible, and get them off it as quickly as you can. That's old-fashioned medical advice. What they know now, and what the new NICE guidelines tell us, is that you should stay on HRT as long as you see the benefits.
Okay.
That HRT is one of the things that helps women's hearts the most, and heart disease is the number one killer of women in the UK.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah, not cancer, heart disease.
Wow.
And it helps our hearts to stay, HRT, just estrogen in general, keeps our hearts younger, and it helps with inflammation, which is one of the leading problems when it comes to heart disease. So as long as you're seeing the benefits, you could stay on it until you die. Like there's nothing that says you have to stop HRT. It's your personal choice.
Yeah.
So as long as you're seeing the benefits, it helps your joints. I mean, there's other things that help your joint. You know, I'm going to bang on about collagen, but whatever your body has had that helps it, why not replace it? So collagen, you have had loads of collagen in your body, replace the collagen. Estrogen, your body's had loads of estrogen, replace the estrogen. Those are the things that your body's always had and has kept it young. Keep going with them. My opinion, personal opinion. You should do your research and figure out what you want to do. Do you know what I mean? So, okay, so estrogen can help with vaginal dryness. And so you can apply it topically. It can also keep the tissue down there young. Testosterone so that's the estrogen in terms of, it's almost like the mechanics of sex.
Yeah.
Like if your vagina is really, really dry and sex is really, really painful, even if your mind was in the mood, your body is going to send signals saying, "Close for business."
Right.
Are you with me?
Yeah.
So even if you're thinking, "Ooh," your body will be like, "No."
Yeah.
I know. Because one of the signals that your body wants intimacy is down there. And if down there doesn't do anything, why would you feel in the mood?
Yeah.
You're not going to, are you?
Yeah.
So you've got to sort that bit out if you want to. Again, personal choice. Now, when we come on to desire, we're talking testosterone. Testosterone has a key role for men and for women. And a decline in testosterone means that the spark is gone. So that kind of like, ooh la la, is testosterone.
Right.
Now, you cannot, we've had this conversation before, testosterone is not available in the UK for women on the NHS. You can get a private prescription, which you can apply for online, and you can do a test. And if you've had your entire womb, uterus and ovaries removed, you can technically get a subscription, prescription for male testosterone. It does bring with it other problems, like it could cause weight gain, it could cause adult acne, it could cause male pattern baldness. So you do need to be really, really careful. It's, it's not. Yeah. And that's the problem with the male testosterone, because you need to microdose because it's very, very strong. It's too strong for women. Yeah. So
if you can get it privately, they'll regulate it for you.
Yeah, I mean, you've got more chance of getting a more accurate dose because it's designed for women. It's more chance that you're going to get a more accurate dose. You can keep better control of the doses. It still carries with it the same side effects, but you've got all potential, I don't want to say same side effects, potential side effects. Not every woman is going to have male pattern baldness. Not every woman is going to have acne. Yeah. But I would say if you're going to go down the route of testosterone, do have a test. Find out what your levels are like first. Yeah. Because
and it might be different in Australia.
Yeah, and you might not need it. Yeah. You might not need testosterone. You need to find out what your levels are like. So that's number 2 with testosterone. And before you do that, I would try maca root first.
I was going to ask, because there's a few women that have posted recently in our membership saying that maca root has saved them. Yeah. Their husbands are grateful that you've come out with maca root. Yeah. So much.
Maca root is like the thing that will stimulate testosterone. So I would always say try maca root first. It really is worth giving that a go before you go down the testosterone route. It's one of the supplements that I always recommend to my women anyway, because it boosts energy in general, mental alertness, because that's the other thing that testosterone does. It boosts mental alertness, cognitive function. So I would say it's a good idea before you go down the testosterone route to get hold of good quality maca root. It's one of the supplements we sell a lot of in our lifestyle range. If anybody wants to have a look at it, I'll put the link to our supplements, I think, is in the show notes. Yeah. But get hold of a good quality maca root like we have, like what we have. But it's worth trying that first. And the last one is progesterone. Falling progesterone can make you feel more anxious, more irritable, and that doesn't help with you connecting emotionally. Yeah. So when you're feeling emotionally or physically, actually, but when you're feeling more anxious, more on edge, you tend to feel more disconnected from yourself. And that can put a hindrance on you sexually. Because when you're anxious, you're like, just leave me alone, don't touch me.
Of course.
Like, piss off, basically. So yeah, libido changes during perimenopause are really, really common. Whether you're what you're feeling, unfortunately, is, I don't want to say it's a normal part of this stage of life, because
it's common.
Yeah. Because it's not normal, because it's horrible.
Yeah.
But it's very common part. But the good news is you don't have to stay. It doesn't stay that way forever. And those kind of hints that I've given you are ways to feel more connected to your body. But feeling disconnected from yourself, I think in many ways, is it worse? I don't know if it's worse, but it's something that, again, is the hormonal changes will give you that feeling of being outside of your own self, I guess, is very common. It impacts your sense of identity, it impacts your energy levels, it impacts your moods, but it also makes you feel differently about yourself. And some of that's physical again, and some of it's emotional, and some of it's mental. So I say it a lot, but I'll say it again. I think you have to recognise yourself as not being broken.
Yeah.
Because if you look at yourself as broken, I'm broken, it doesn't work. Yeah, there's something wrong. That's when the disconnection happens. Like, I don't feel like how I used to feel. Therefore, something's wrong, something's broken.
I'm not me anymore.
Yeah, like well, you can feel like you're not me anymore, but just accept that you're changing.
Yeah, you did it. We did an episode about that. And it was really good.
Yeah. I don't know what episode was it. Do you know?
I think it was season 1, episode 23.
Okay, cool. I'm glad you know. I've got a clue. But I think if you understand that it's the you that you were isn't coming back because you have changed. If it's a different season, it's a different chapter.
Sorry, it's episode 20.
Okay, cool. But it's a different chapter of your life, and she's not coming back. But that's okay, because you've turned the page. You've gone on to a different chapter. Perfectly okay. And if you come to peace with that, you'll do much better than just thinking you're broken, you're damaged, and you're waiting for it to be mended.
Yeah.
You will have heartache. And that's when the disconnect happens. And I think that's when women say, I don't connect with the new one. Because you're trying to make yourself feel like the old one. And that's when you get disorientated, which is obviously completely understandable. The important thing is to just come to peace with, I'm a new version of myself. My life is a new version of my life. I need to form habits and hobbies and rituals. I don't call them routines. You know what I'm like. I don't like routines because I don't like being told what to do every day and doing the same thing every day. But I have rituals that help. And be really, really compassionate to yourself. Find out what works for you now.
Yeah.
So we have rituals that we do every day around supplements. We have rituals that we do every day around mental health walks.
Yeah.
Rituals that we have every day around food,
skin,
nails, affirmations, gratitude journaling. These are habits that you and we've developed. But and these rituals are the foundations of good mental health and good physical health. And as you transition through this phase through perimenopause, into menopause, these are kind of like foundations and pillars that will really, really help you. And it's just knowing what's there to support you. So I do yoga because yoga's, when I was younger, boxing, hockey, tennis, anything where you could hit someone or something was what I did, because I used to be quite, not violent is the wrong word. I think aggressive, very
built-in,
powerful.
Yeah.
But now I'm a bit more chilled. I'm a bit kind of like a bit of a yogi, a bit kind of like
a yogi.
Yeah. But are you with me? You have to find the new you. And then just say, and that's okay.
But how can she explain these things to her husband?
Right. So, first of all, I think it's okay to understand that you don't have the answers yet. and to communicate that to him. So share with him
this episode.
Yeah, share with him this episode, and then be honest but gentle. So,
and episode 4, season 1.
Yeah. So say to him something like, I love you and I want to feel close to you, but I've been disconnected from myself recently and I don't know why.
Yeah.
So that's really, first of all, diffusing the whole thing. So just straight off the bat, he'll just go, oh my God. Because you're saying straight off the bat, this hasn't been about you.
Yeah.
Okay, because he's secretly worried that you're leaving him, or that you've had enough of him, or that it's just you just don't find him sexually attractive anymore.
Yeah.
So straight off the bat, I love you and I want to feel close to you, but I've been feeling disconnected from myself. I don't know why. But I've learned that it's really common for women in perimenopause to experience changes in libido, to feel different about themselves. And I think that might be what's happening to me. And if you say that straight away, he'll go, oh, okay.
Some of the women in our perimenopause group, and I thought this was amazing. And what they said was amazing about it, that they've explained it to their husbands, but they give them different kinds of intimacy, different kinds of attention.
Yeah.
Cuddling on the sofa, holding his hand.
And this is what we said before. Yeah. It's really important to understand that he's still a human being that needs physical touch. So even if it's just, when he's standing there talking to him, just like rub his back or just, it can be anything, hold hands with him in the car or just, sit next to him on the sofa, and explain to him, it's important to reassure him this isn't about your relationship. It's not about him personally. It's not about what's going on it's about you and your body and your mind. And just so he doesn't feel it's about him or it's a rejection of him. But then you can also explain to him, I'm just still figuring this out. Can we work on this together and maybe connect in other ways? I'd really love to spend quality time with you. And if you're frightened, because I think women have this secret fear that if you're intimate with him in other ways, like even if it's just cuddling or holding hands, that he will then think it's leading to something else.
Yeah.
You can explain that to him. Just say, my fear is that if we cuddle, then you'll think that it's leading to something else. And I need to figure stuff out at the moment. And I need to be more aware of my body and my limitations and what I actually can do and not do and stuff before we do that. So is it okay if we just cuddle? Is this okay? And explain that to him rather than never, because his fear will be that you will never cuddle again, that he will never have human contact again, because women will cuddle with their kids or cuddle with their female friends or cuddle with their parents
or their pets.
I mean, like, for God's sake, how many cat cuddles do we have a day? But even with me with my horses, like I will cuddle my horses. But men may only cuddle with their partners. So if you don't cuddle with them, they may fear that they'll never have human contact ever again. Can you imagine how sad that would feel? That would be like really like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like that would be actually quite devastating, I would think. Honestly.
It's a valid fear.
It is a valid fear. So I think include him in the process, open up the conversation in a way that invites conversation and support rather than defensiveness. And then just make sure that you do take proactive steps to reconnect with yourself. So like prioritize self-care, do things like journaling, like walking, like creative things about nurturing yourself is really good.
That was well put.
And then just understand your body. If you haven't already found our free group on Facebook, come find us. It's Perimenopause. Oh, my brain fog happened there. Perimenopause with Kate Grosvenor. Come find us. Very empowering group.
Lovely women.
Lovely women. And start learning what's happening to your body. Support your hormones as well. Come talk to us about supplements, about managing stress. If you want to know more about mindset, have a look at our Beautiful Mindset membership. That's a really good place to start for just understanding that start with understanding the basics of mindset.
Yeah.
That's really good place there, because mindset and hormones and supporting yourself is really, really important right now. And just understand, again, what you're experiencing is more common than you know. Try and navigate it with kindness to yourself, curiosity if you can, and it's just take it as a chance to reconnect with yourself on a deeper level. And just take support from people if you can. Don't be afraid to reach out. It can actually become a really empowering time if you understand it's a new chapter. And be patient with yourself. Lean on loved ones and professionals.
Hey, you didn't sing then?
I didn't sing. Lean on
That's
me
exactly what I was going to sing.
when you're strong. Yeah, exactly. Anyway, listen, if you're feeling the same as Fiona, just please know you're not alone. Changes in libido and feeling disconnected are very normal, but they're also not just something you have to accept. There are steps that you can take to feel more like you again.
Yeah.
And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in our group, if you're in our group in Facebook, or you can WhatsApp us on the number below in the show notes. Thank you so much, Fiona, for your questions, and have a beautiful week, my darlings. We will speak to you soon. Bye. Thanks for joining us today on the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. We hope you found this episode helpful and inspiring.
Don't forget, if you have any questions or topics you'd like us to cover, you can reach out through our Perimenopause group or on WhatsApp.
For more information on my coaching, perimenopause supplements, books or upcoming events, please visit www.kategrosvenor.com.
And if you've enjoyed today's episode, please subscribe, rate and review our podcast. It really helps us reach more listeners just like you.
Until next time. Remember, perimenopause doesn't have to be complicated. We're here to help you every step of the way.
Stay uncomplicated.